I'm Ryan Thiessen, and I own Creekshore Farms located here in St. Catharines, Ontario. We started farming in 2009. The year before that, we had a garden behind our house. We worked with the youth group from our church to grow vegetables for community care of St. Catharines, and that had piqued our interest to start our own farm. I had worked in conventional agriculture, which is spraying, things like that, in the grape and tender fruit industry for 10 years before that. And I'd always wanted my own farm since birth, I say. And it was, after that first year doing the big garden by ourselves with the youth group, we decided to take it to the next level the year after. And we started with 1 acre, and we moved up from there. And we've done vegetables since the beginning. We've always done it organically. So usually when we think about sustainable agriculture, we're always focused on the organic side of sustainable agriculture, about not spraying, things like that. To me, sustainable agriculture has I think 3 facets. Certainly one is the idea of sustainable for the earth, that we have to be able to rejuvenate the earth, not continue to poison it, that sort of thing. It also means sustainable as a job. Farmers are one of the lowest income earners out there. It's hard work, and it needs to pay the bills and keep us going from one season to the next and not wear us out. I want to be doing this still in 40 years when I'm in my 70s. I hope to play a lesser role, and maybe my daughter is taken over, but I still want to get on the tractor and wreck a few things here and there. And I think the other thing that has to be sustainable is it has to be sustainable from a generational standpoint. All too often you get, and especially these days, there's generational farms that are telling their kids that there's no place for them in the farm in the future. And it doesn't even have to be our own kids, just for the next generation of people. Farmers keep getting older, the average age, and we need to be able to train the next generation of farmers. It was really important to make sure that what we were doing was going to leave a legacy behind for our kids and our daughter that would protect the earth for them and protect the air quality and the soil quality. So one thing we're working at on a lot is stale bedding or false seed bedding. That's where we create a seed bed, allow the weed seeds to germinate, and then shallow cultivate to knock them back without disturbing the soil. And so we're trying to find ways to go not necessarily to no-till, that'd be awesome, but to very low till, very shallow tilling. Another thing we're trying to do is to bring back technology that was used in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And so just this year we switched to a 15-inch row spacing system. It's row cropping on a small scale, and we use these old 2-wheel cultivating tractors from the 50s, and they make weed control a dream. And but we're marrying that also with modern technology, these things called finger weeders, and they're capable of doing in-row between the plant weeding without damaging the crop. We're working with professors at BrockUESRC as well in intercropping trials to help reduce pests. So that would be brassicas like cabbage and broccoli intermixed with onions to reduce diamondback moth pressure in the brassicas. And so we're trying to stay on the leading edge of this kind of research. Then you would plant bushes or wildflowers, things like that, things that attract beneficial insects. Community supported agriculture is a model that was started over 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. The idea behind is that in our model anyway, in community supported agriculture, our customers prepay at the beginning of the season or before the season even starts for a weekly box of vegetables throughout the summer. And we also do a winter program, and we're working towards making actually a year-round program that is more in line with the original concept of community supported agriculture. But the basic idea is that the community helps support the farm by giving us money when our input costs come in. So we got to buy, seed and straw and all these different things at the beginning of the season. And in a normal agricultural model, you have to grow it up. You accept the entire risk of growing it, and then whatever comes out at the end, you can sell. And unlike factories where we can predict what's going to happen, unless something breaks down. Farming is very unpredictable. We can have a year like last year where it was one of the driest years on record, and then right into this year where it's been super wet. The community supported agriculture gave us money early on, and now our customers, although we do our best to limit the risk part, they share in both the reward and the risk of farming with us. So if it's a bad year, and we did okay even last year, the customers share in sort of having less. But if it's a really good year, then they share in the bounty of the farm, and they help buffer that highs and lows of an income for a farm.